All right, howdy, howdy, hey, hey. Happy Monday, November somethingeth. November already. Event 9 of 16 already. Time flies when you're having fun. For some of these teams, it flies regardless of if they're having fun or not, because some of these Marble League teams are not having fun. But I am having fun making fun of them day in and day out, year in and year out. How is everyone doing? I hope I am coming through okay. Um, I look at my viewfinder to make sure that the stream's moving slowly, but I have so much lag, and that just it just might be on the YouTube timekeeping because it hangs on a certain number for like 6 seconds, but then it gets the time right. So I hope I'm coming through cleanly because it is a stormy day, right? It is definitely November. The climate here finally got the memo that yes, it is November. Rain after rain, floods of biblical proportions that we have not seen since the last time it rained, because it rains a lot and it rains hard and it rains frequently and a lot. Said a lot twice, that's how much it rains. So, yeah, whole lot to go into with this one. Event 9, you can already tell which teams are not, it's not happening for. You know, there's some teams we had high hopes for this season, and it seems that it's just all coming apart. We got to get into that, and we also got to get into some bingo. What? What could it be? Are my eyes deceiving me? Did I actually get another bingo square? Uh, yeah. This triathlon was everything I hoped for and more. The only thing that would have made it better is if the O Rangers won it. Uh, did come close. Okay, closer than the most times, right? Uh, but I really like I like any iteration of triathlon. Uh, what year was that? 2019, where it was a biathlon because the uh, was it the water portion was too choppy. Uh, so that is uh, uh, something that triathlon's always something I look forward to. Let me just say that thought. Let me drink some water first. The chat is popping right now, so I'm just trying to keep up with everything, and it's like words don't make sense right now. So I want to start out with the poll because this year we had indoor triathlon. Last year we had an outdoor triathlon. Year before that we had the inside triathlon. Did we even have triathlon the year before that? I don't even remember if there was a triathlon in 2020. And then 2019 was supposed to be a triathlon turned into a biathlon because the water conditions were so poor. I want to ask you all, what's the better triathlon in honest opinion? If I can spell, gotta go indoor and outdoor. Because I'm honestly fine with both. Uh, I like when outdoor events happen, especially when it's something like this. I because so much of the roots of this channel and of this league were outdoor events. Uh, I mean, the 2016 underwater race was a swimming pool, right? And honestly, that was like the best underwater race. Was just in a swimming pool outside. I really like when they have the outside triathlons, but the indoors ones always some bangers, always some instant classics, and you can also control the conditions because whenever that was 2019 when they had it outdoors, triathlon turned into a biathlon because the water conditions were too poor. And in fact, I think that's what happened last year when they held it outdoor, because if you remember in the qualifiers, it went track sand water, right? It went track sand water into the water. Um but then in the main tournament, in the showdown, they had to change it to end in a basin and not the open water because I'm not sure if it was too murky. If you look back at the qualifiers footage, it is very, poor filming conditions under the water. It is not clear at all. So maybe that's why they did it, or maybe it was just too choppy, like what happened in 2019, right? So I like when they have the outside track, the outside sand, but the indoor is always a classic. And I don't think, as we get into this, I don't think they would have been able to do the shape of track that they wanted to in an outside environment. Did they even mention that sponsor? I saw the sponsor flash up. Raldo's a lifeguard. Okay, so he's in with the marbles on the raft. Yeah, so they have that honey dome, right? The I forget what they called it, but the hive shape on the track. So there we go. Just hang on the overall standings heading into this event. Very, very long. Yeah, Savage Speeders, 99 points in 8 events. It would take the Balls of Chaos 20 events to get that many. No. No, hold on. How's that matter? Yeah, about 20. Doubt it. Maybe 24. Probably 24 events. It would take them a long time, point being. Savage Speeders cleaning up. Whole lot of teams still in the mix. Whole lot of teams not in the mix. But, I mean, 9 down, 7 to go. I don't think there are any, mathematically eliminated teams yet. We might as well have some whenever the next event is. Yeah, so that track shape, love it. Love the track shape. That could not happen outside. It just couldn't. It just could not. And I like that they're able to do it. Inside, control your own conditions, have good clear water, get the good camera angles. There was one head on camera angle when the marbles entered the water that I was not about. I like how they just show the Thunderbolts crowd. Yeah, they're still here. They still have hope. You shouldn't, Thunderbolts. Yeah, here we go. Heat 1 Stinger. It was a Stinger Westby Waspy, Lightning, Rizzy. And just absolutely clean. I don't know why I mean, I just hope that the Thunderbolts do something just so my bingo happens and nothing else. Right there. Right there is like, oh, Lightning ain't moving. Did they get a lesson from the Shock playbook of how to race? And step one is don't. And here I was having flashbacks because you get the cuts to the JMA, you have cuts to the referees. Flashbacks to 2021, right? Last time they had an indoor triathlon. And if you look at the thumbnail, I do go back to film. I do go back into the archives, right? That whole thing, Blue Eye Rojo Dos. Thought we were going to have that situation again, especially with Blue Eye actually being in this event and the Rojo Rollers being in this Marble League. Thought we were going to have that unsportsmanlike conduct part 2. And here we go off the bat with Rizzy, Razzie, whomever it may concern, and Lightning. We don't really get that angle from this one right here. Oh, but hold on. 2 minutes in. 2 minutes in. Are we getting Grog Woods 2 minutes in? Look at this. Is this the earliest Grog Woods we've ever happened?
Waspy holding in second place.
Oh yeah, listen to that raw bit depth.
Waggle, they coming onto the sand portion, and it's still fairly tight up front. Especially with those top two. Oh, did we have a marble get stuck back there? Lightning out of the race.
Man, that is me in the booth, 100%. Man, that is me in the booth. Oh, Lightning. Because I thought we were going to have it, but no, it's not unsportsmanlike conduct. It's not, malicious intent. It is just a collision, and Lightning is just bad because the Thunderbolts are bad. And not only are the Thunderbolts bad, they are, in fact, dead. I know I shouldn't say that certain teams are dead because of how other teams made me eat my words, right? But really, that was just Raspberry Racers and Shining Swarm last year. After 4 events, after 16, it was a different story. Thunderbolts through 9, there is nothing that is going to change about the next 7. There is nothing. Just here's hoping that they get a gold save face for my bingo, and that's it. That is all that we can hope for. No idea when that's going to happen, by the way, because I have no idea what the Thunderbolts are going to be good at, if they're ever going to be good at anything. 38 points through 8 events. On pace for 54 points. The record for the lowest ever is 64 points. That was Balls of Chaos last year. We thought there was no way any team could beat that. Here we go. Thunderbolts 8 events down. however many points. Forgot the number. Something bad. And now with 0 points in the 9th. Changes nothing. The Thunderbolts are dead. Yeah, so there's everyone mulling it over. Referees mull it over. They're like, nah, clean. There's a good angle. Kinda. Lot of swoops. Didn't think anyone was able to DNF on that. Lightning finds a way. Leave it to the Thunderbolts to fail in the most spectacular ways. Okay, Thunderbolt. No, yeah, that was right. I'm still going off of my old math. That was right. I'm still going off of my old math they did a while back on because they were averaging like 3 points an event, right? Balls of Chaos were at least averaging 4. So at the time, the Thunderbolts were on pace for 54. Math is not my friend, so people are saying that they are on pace for 76. But man, okay, so this let's break out the abacus, right? So actually, mental maths, real quick. So they're averaging almost 5 points because they had 38 through 8. So now they're 38 through 9, which is still 4. So they're on pace to not be the worst, which is good because the Balls of Chaos should at least stew in that, right? They should have the worst PP in the Marble League and then follow that up with going to the showdown and then follow that up with relegation. Because that's what the Balls of Chaos deserve. They should at least have 1 year where they're the worst. Like, could you imagine if a team like Lions, right? Lions go 0-16. Could you imagine the next year another team goes 0-16? It's like, no, we just saw the worst team. Why do you need to be even worse? Like, we need to we need to savor things, right? Especially from if you're someone in my position where you get more or less paid at a more or less job to make fun of balls of glass, that you should hope that certain balls have pain for extended periods of time. That is going to get clipped. Okay, moving on. Waspy and Stinger. Rizzy did not pass, which was a shame because I'm pretty sure I had the Raspberry Racers winning this event. But Waspy and Stinger, those are pretty solid for the fact that I forgot that the Midnight Wisps are in this. And they did worse. They were really... They are so unsung in how bad they are at time to time. 2018 champions. They have 2 fourth place finishes in the league. Went to the showdown. Should have been relegated. Made it out. Take 15th. Should have taken last. The only reason they didn't take last is because the Balls of Chaos were doing something new in terms of failure. And then Midnight Wisps make it back to the show. Balls of Chaos don't. And here they are saving some face. They are pretty trash-tastic again. Still better than their performance last year. Or Orange and Anu. This heat was something else, right? Some of these heats that we've seen, snooze fest in other heat events. Not this event particularly, right? This was a banger heat. Origin, Velocity, Frost, Cosmo. Banger. And I knew Origin was going to have it, at least, right? If anything, to make it out the group stage. All I want, and you can see there. Oh, where'd I click? Where's my cursor at? There we go. Okay. Right here. You can see everyone doing the shoot. The little slalom out of the honeybee. That honeycomb, that hive shape for the Trek is the best shape. It's so iconic, right? Bumblebees have been amazing hosts with their theming, and they're also good. They might win this, right? So not only are they good hosts, They are a good team hosting, and that's refreshing to see. So, Origin, looking a bit, just Noom, right? All the other rounds go boom, boom, boom. They just hit this slump head on. And then this angle was bad, right? This is the only bad angle in this event, mainly because I thought this was the finish line. I thought this was the finish line right here. Oh, I can't point. But right here, I thought that was the finish line. So I'm like, what are you doing? I need to see positioning. I need who's first, who's second. Who's second, who's third? I need to see. This angle isn't telling me anything. And good thing it isn't telling you anything, because that's not the finish line. That's the finish line. Would have liked the goal line cam, maybe here, the finish line cam. Because this was a little ambiguous. And it was even more ambiguous in the battle between Origin and Frost. So here's the replay of, I guess, the whole thing for whatever reason. Really needed to see just the finish line. All right, there's the good headshot. All right, here we go. Yeah, so no surprise that the speeders advanced from a group stage in a speed event. It was really just who was gonna be second, because Velocity was just gonna take first in this. And then here we go. This is the angle they choose. And this is the moment they choose. If I... Voice crack, hold on. If I went live on Saturday, I would have lost my mind over this. But I've had, it's not, a proper knee jerk, letting everything, ferment for a bit, for a day or two. This is still very close. I guess you can give it to Origin, but that is very close. They gave it to Origin by a thousandth of a second. But then rolling it back like that real time, I don't know, man. So this is one thing that I think is unique to the Marble League and no other sport. They measure by the middle of the marble, right? Any other race, any other sport, right? It just has to be a little bit. One bit across the line. That's why Lightning McQueen sticks his tongue out, right? It's just a bit. It doesn't have to be the middle. It has to be a bit. So coming across... If the frame by frame wants to work, right? Because that is close. This... Wow. If you're judging by who gets across, who reaches the line first, right? That is close. That is extraordinarily close. Honestly, even after I've had time to think about this, to ponder on this, even with this photo circulating everywhere through Twitter, through Discord, through Reddit, I think the Gliding Glaciers got screwed. I think this should have gone to a race-off It happened with the O-Rangers and Pinkies in the hurdles. I want to say 2019 hurdles. That is too close to call. And somehow they called it. Now, if you want to bring back steeplechase and the timing and scoring, hiccups in that, the gliding glaciers, to some, and I know it's still a hot button to press because, steeplechase was so long ago. But the glaciers have, if you want to knee-jerk react to it, they've been screwed out of 2 medals, potentially, thus far. That has huge implications in the championship. Gliding glaciers should be doing way better than the numbers tell you because of moments like this. I can see how Origin might just be a hair close, like literally nanometers, picometers, tiny meters. I don't know. Someone explain a meter to me. In how many Big Macs stacked is that? But that is very close. I can see how Origin might just be a bit across the line before Frost. But it's also not a perfect top-down angle. That there's a bit of slant to the finish line just off of how perspective works. It's not a true up and down angle. There's a bit of perspective on it, so there's a bit of a slant. That is extremely close. And even as the number one O'Rangers fan, the most biased, of which I speak with heavy amounts of bias, I wouldn't have minded if this went to a race-off. And in fact, this should have gone to a race-off between Origin and Frost. Cosmo, can't help you, buddy. You did it to yourself. My Team Galactic in 5th is not happening. But we do have some other bingo spots that will happen this video. Mellow Yellow, Blue Eye. Wait, who? Firo, Pinky Winky. Man, Blue Eye in the triathlon. Yeah, I think it was this one where they said that White Eye apologized for breaking the tablet for having that outburst that they did because your team took dead last 2 times and you're still in 5th. Like, you are still doing very well. And there we go, Blue Eye. And I was holding my breath like, how that... Oh. Turn the desktop audio back on. Allowed to be... Okay, how do you... What's the monkey wrench going to be this time? No monkey wrench. You see how good a racer Blue Eye is, and they don't even have to shove anyone off the track. How about that for Blue Eye, leaving them in the dust? So it was really just a battle for second, and it was really just how close Pinky Winky could get to Firo, because Firo was just taking it. Almost got there, but could not, and then Mellow Yellow can finish wherever they want to, and it's understandable. 7 events, they might get 7 straight golds, finishing first, because why not? It's mellow yellow. Mellow yellow to mellow. Right? They just finish where they want to. Anytime they're on the podium, it's like, hey, you want to get on the podium? Sure. That's what 2021 was. It's like, hey, want to be a champion? Like, we are amongst 11 teams who have a chance to win this. You want to just win it? Sure, gold medal? Nah, bronze. Bronze in the final event. Keeping it mellow. This time, they're just keeping it however mellow they want it. But so what? They're champions. Can't really say the same with the Pinkies. They are reigning champions. They really want to go back to back and are still in the thick of it. They still have championship aspirations. And honestly, it might happen. I could see the Pinkies going back to back. I think, I don't know, maybe a year of being the #1 Pinky stan has left some traces of pinky-ness, right? I think I might be rooting for the Pinkies, you guys. I think I might be rooting for the Pinkies to go back to back. Honestly, at this point, it's anyone but the Speeders. Like, let's just get that out of the way. Anyone but the Speeders. But yeah, disappointing for the Pinkies, especially because Pinky Winky almost passed Firo. Like, if that was an extra metric unit, if that was an extra tug-of-war unit of distance, then Pinky Winky would have passed Firo because they definitely wanted to get there. All right, Rojo Cinco, Rojo Rollers in another indoor triathlon OGs, and then Mimo. It was a me moment. But Snowstorm, I believe, and then Glimmer. What happened? Hold on. Yeah, Glimmer, Snowstorm, Rojo Cinco, Mimo. Thought it was going to be a me moment. It's meme over. But Glimmer not having any luck. Yeah, that hard hit with Mimo, right? Okay, what I'm pretty sure Greg Woods mentioned throwing elbows in this. So yeah, just that. That's all I needed to see about Glimmer. You get Snowstorm, Cinco, Mimo, like back to back. And then 3 seconds later, you got Glimmer. Another head-on angle tells us nothing about how the race is going. And then this angle, not the best in the world. Way better than it if they just stood on this one for the finish line, because this tells you nothing about who's finishing where. But it was Snowstorm, and then Rojo Cinco, and then Mimo. And of course, yeah, Glimmer was also here. It is so meme over. It is such a me moment. But sad times at Ridgemont High for Team Momo. The 3 teams that still do not have a medal in this Marble League still do not have a medal in this Marble League. This was like prime real estate. This was such an event for that to happen. And not only did it not happen, they were the worst teams in this event. Thunderbolts needed a medal. Team Momo needed a medal. And then, was it Mellow Yellow needing it? No, Mellow Yellow got theirs. Team Galactic, yeah. Team Galactic, Team Momo, and the Thunderbolts. were the the three that needed a medal to satisfy my bingo. And not only did they not do it, they were the worst teams. And not only were they the worst teams. Oh, Cosmo 10th, right? So not the worst of the worst, but Team Momo, another 14th finish. Another 14th place finish. This is the second one, I do believe. And then there's two 12s in the mix. And then, of course, Lightning. Thunderbolts finding new ways to fail. Thunderbolts finding new ways to be absolutely awful at being a sport athlete, right? This is pain, right? They even said it. They tweeted it out. Thunderbolts like pain this morning because it is just nothing but pain coming from this team. And it's just going to be pain forever for them, isn't it? Get one gold for me, save face, and then you can be bad. They're at 38. A gold will take that. No, that'll put them at 63 points. So yeah, you can take 0 points in 6 of the next 7, have a gold, and that'll be the worst point total than Balls of Chaos with a better medal. That would be absolute pain. Momo was dead last in qualifiers. There's no triathlon in qualifiers. Reading through the chat now. Feel so bad for Momokai. Me too. There is so much pain. It is so over. The most solace you can take from this is you're not the Thunderbolts, which is that is the lowest bar to clear. The bar is in the ground to be better than the Thunderbolts in the Marble League, especially this year. So it is over. We need some of the Momopium copium because it is just so bad to be them. Oh yeah, and there we go. Merch. Finally, I like their merch ad placements, right? In a heat stage, go through 4 heats. Because it's going to be the 4 heats and then 2 semis, a third, and the final. So that's 4 runs, right? You just 8 runs, ad break, right? Nice little halftime, and then go with the playoffs, right? Lovely structuring with this. It was never over. That implies they were here to begin with. They were here in 2021, right? Led through 11, and they just hit the skids ever since they didn't win. All right, here we go. Semifinal A. You got Blue Eye with the Rojo Rollers in a triathlon. This was like, Blue Eye about to punch somebody. Blue Eye, or maybe Cinco. Maybe Cinco. They should have put Dose in just to get some revenge on that. If they have Rojo Dose, it would go full on just pat. But this is what we wanted to see. And then, of course, Waspy's also here. But you got 3 really 3 teams that are still in championship contention, and the Midnight Wisps. And the Midnight Wisps. Be kind, rewind. Let's see this hit off of Blue Eye. Oh, we need Grog Woods on this. We just need... You know, this event was the birthplace of Grog Woods, because we, during that unsportsmanlike conduct video, had to slow it down, that collision down, and we get Grog Woods. Oh, there's been an incident, right? Yeah, gotta happen, because
Crazy Cat's Eyes in second place with Blue Eye, who tried.
So, same thing that helped Orange in on that doomed whichever Wespy Waspy Wispy Wuspy that was running. That heavy stiff arm, right? They don't have arms. Still stiff armed them.
Cat's Eyes in second place with Blue.
Right, boom. Boom. Get off me, he says to Tracy Porter. Noom out the picture. GG no re, it's who's coming in second, because Orangin got this in the bag. Speaking of bag, the cat's out of it because Blue Eye, boom, same thing, stiff arm, makes that momentum back by just pummeling whomever it may concern down here. And that was basically all she wrote for the Midnight Wisps day in triathlon. So used to hearing Grog Woods. There's no Grog Woods. Yes, it was all O's. It was all O's for me. Just, because it was, who else? Who else was going to catch up? Got Blue Eye. I mean, there's your battle, right? It wasn't going to be the Midnight Wisps in contention. It wasn't going to be the O-Rangers out of contention. It was just a nice battle, right? That's all we wanted. That's all we wanted when we heard this was going to be an inside triathlon. Blue Eye against the Rojo Rollers, right? Don't need fisticuffs this time. This is who is moving on. And boy, howdy, if we didn't almost have another photo finish. Photo finish in the bingo, by the way, only is to determine the winner in an event, and not in a heat or second place in a heat. Just the winner. Yeah, the replays we could have had less of. I feel like we just needed the goal line camera. Although that angle a whole lot clearer than the one where it's sort of filming from behind, right? This angle looks a lot closer than it actually was. Go back to this angle. Blue Eye's got it. And a second semifinal. Oh, yeah, there you go. Who's Logan? Just want to talk about them, about being the biggest Rangers fan. Unless it's for Logan. Someone, maybe the O-Rangers are a fan of Logan. Heck it, I'm a fan of Logan now. Any fan of the O Rangers is a fan of mine. How about that? Just baseline that. Now clip that. Now this is a heat of all time. This is a heat of all time. Because the Snowballs want to be doing better than they are. They got a gold, right? But haven't been having the finishes they wanted. And then you have Stinger and Velocity, who the Bumblebees and the Savage Speeders have been duking back and forth this entire time. This entire league has been the Bumblebees and the Savage Speeders. And Team Plasma had a top spot very early on. It was all red teams. And they have been slipping ever since. It seemed that the dream was dead, that the hype was overhyped, and that Team Plasma was who we thought they were. So, a surprisingly tense heat, because all of these teams are somewhat in contention in some way or another. It'll take some doing for the Snowballs to get up to there. It'll take some doing for Team Plasma to get back to the top spot. But meanwhile, Stinger and Velocity are just duking back and forth. Because they've been fighting for number one this entire time. Just about. So surprisingly tense. A lot of championship implications in this heat. And it is Snowstorm taking this wire to wire, basically. Maneuvering wonderfully. This head-on, right? You don't need a head-on camera angle in the water. Head-on camera angle on the sand, though. Wonderful. See all the different strategies. And then Velocity comes to like almost a dead stop. Thought they were going to DNF. Unfortunately, they didn't DNF. And then it was Stinger and Snowstorm. Right? Pretty sure all that the Bumblebees needed to do was do better than the Savage Speeders to get back to the top. Yeah, there's that hit with... Yeah. See, that was Bumble. That was Bumble laying the hit, or no, Stinger. Stinger laying the hit on Velocity. Thought they were going to DNF. Thought they were at least going to take fourth. Somehow didn't, because Team Plasma, Ecto, in this event, just like Team Plasma overall, collapsed. I know what I'm talking about. There are only 3 heats. It's semifinals, semifinals, finals. There's no third place race. That's a team versus team matchup. This is heats of 4. So only 3 heats. In the back half, not a clean half. Yeah. So after the semifinals, how it shakes up. All red, except for Rizzy, which it's Rizzy. Come on. You put Razzie in there. You put Razzie in the speed. But yeah. Yeah, Velocity almost DNF. They almost came to a complete stop in the sand portion. Came away with 5th. Still, somehow, was the best of the worst of the best. I can't explain it either. But, you know, Ecto and Rojo Cinco getting some, not good, but like better finishes for what their teams have been doing, getting some points. It's not like Team Elmo or the Thunderbolts, right? It's not like that. And then here we go. The final. Absolutely insane. So many championship implications in this one heat. In this final. Because you have the team who is host curse, schmost curse. They've been cleaning up. They might be your champions when all is said and done, right? You got two teams who haven't had solid finishes, just trying to claw their way back. They got medals previously, trying to get back in it. Same thing goes for the Crazy Cat's Eyes. Doing really well, started slipping a bit, trying to get back in it. And this is your final heat. Collision early on. All the walls for Origin. Yeah, and this right here. You have Blue Eye and Stinger going back and forth, the voom, 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 voom. But then you have Snowstorm. Right, just taking that straight on. Dare I say a beeline through that sand portion, takes the top spot into the water before anyone else. Right? Everyone else way back in the sand. We get the change in camera angle. Look at that. They're off. They're gone. They are into the water. See you later. How you doing? Keep it moving. And then Origin. And I'm like, oh geez. Oh geez. I want the orange. I want the Origin on the podium. I want them on the podium. Looked like it wasn't gonna happen. Meanwhile, Snowstorm, GG, Stinger, GG, basically locked in for first and second respectively. But the battle for third, right? This battle for third with Blue Eye running out of gas. Absolute comeback at the line for Origin, stealing the bronze away from Blue Eye, who would have had an absolute redemption story, thinking about the triathlon from 2 years ago. Yeah, all the walls early, anything you can hit was getting hit. Look at this gap. Look at this gap. And tell me how Blue Eye doesn't get a medal. Look at this. Look at this. That's what? That's like 6 lengths between Snowstorm and Stinger at this frame. Probably about 7 lengths between Snowstorm and Blue Eye. That's gotta be like 20 lengths. At least. No, way more. That's probably 40. That's probably a half of this. From here to here is 20. That's like 40 lengths back. Blue Eye, all Blue Eye had to do is set cruise control and they on. And then Origin absolutely runs it back. Yeah, Blue Eye looking a bit slow through the sand though. But okay. Let's time. Let's time. So they are in the water at 16.5 seconds. Origin made up some time in that sand portion, but still a full second back. And then Blue Eye just runs out of gas in the water portion. Origin, I don't know, maybe ate their Wheaties for breakfast or something. Steals it. Steals it. Now, I ain't mad about it, right? Should have been the Glaciers, though. I think the Glaciers got screwed a bit. if you really want to look at it like that. But number one Rangers fan, or maybe we'll give it to Logan. Okay, I'll be number two. Number two Rangers fan. I'm mad with the Bronze. Not mad at all for the fact that we were getting no haps. Got the bronze in the hurdles. Got in the hurdles. And it seemed like no haps was happening. And we get 7 on it. Honestly, in terms of outcome, in terms of presentation, in terms of just quality, I think this is the best triathlon we've had. I think this is the best one. The hive shape for the track is just unbeatable. That is just aesthetic goodness. They're lovely. Lovely stuff. And honestly, a little bit sad because that event's done and we might never see a hive shape triathlon track again. Sad times. I know it's gotta happen at the Honeydome, right? Gotta have that shape. But this is probably the best triathlon. And of course, we got the snowballs with another gold. Just what, their third gold ever? I believe. And the second one came like 4 events ago. So there we go with the snowballs running it back. Blue Eyes so close yet so far. 1/10 of a second. Blowing the at the line. At the line they blow it. Very close. Origin steals the bronze. And Stinger, your host. No host has gotten this many medals. Right? We set the bar. We set the line at 3.5. They got that through 8. They got that through, what, 6, 7 events? They got 3 medals. All they needed was a 4th. And they were testing me. They're like, what? We're going to give this Dino Man on YouTube absolute blood pressure through the roof. And then we'll finally cover. We'll finally let this prop bet hit. 4 medals for the Bumblebees. Can't believe that actually hit because everything's like, oh, host curse, host curse, host curse. Host curse, schmost curse. Bumblebees 4 medals and 9 events. They are rolling. This is an all-right podium. I'm actually really digging this podium. Literally anybody but the speeders, please. Anybody but the speeders, please. Look at that. You always gotta love it. Always gotta love. Especially for the fact that the only gold the Snowballs had was a team event. The only way that the Snowballs made it to that Marble League was hosting. They've never qualified for the Marble League until this year. And what a performance. Jumping up 4 spots into 9th with 2 gold medals. 4 points behind the O'Rangers, who move up with their bronze. Bumblebees with their 2nd silver jump up into the 1 spot again. 2 points behind this. 2 points ahead of the Savage Speeders. 12 points clear of the Crazy Cat size. 14 clear of the Razzies. And then 24 clear of the Pinkies. So really, if this tournament ended with the next event, which thank God it doesn't, there are only 5 teams in contention. 5 teams could shake things up with a bronze. And one of them's the Pinkies. Could it happen? Pinky is still in it. It's very close through the top 5. Still close through this mid-pack, right? 5th through 8th. Only separated by 7 points. Let's see, what does a gold do for the Pinkies? Well, to match the Pinkies. 63 points. So the Glaciers could jump the Pinkies with the gold. So it's really, 7 events left. Who knew if you win, you do well overall? Who'd have thunk? But it's basically 1st through 5th are 1st through 5th are 1 gold difference. And 11th through 6th are 2 golds from 1st. Which can still happen. 7 events. Not a whole lot of time left here in the back half of the Marble League, but still anything can happen. Rojo Rollers still in the thick of it. Wisps, I guess, still could. They still might. Savage Speeders still don't have a gold, but Relay is next event. Relay is next event, and that's something that they do very well at. Although last year they got 10th, I do believe. Is it Sprint that they have a three-peat with? They've won 3 straight. There's some speed event they won 3 straight years. So Mellow Yellow in 10th. Dropping down. Gliding Glaciers, Shining Swarm, Team Galactic all drop down a bit. Team Plasma still in 14th, even with a not bad showing. It might be over for them. It really might be over for them. Maybe the hype was too hype. Maybe they might find something to win. 7 events to go. But Team Momo, it is Mover, and Thunderbolts are dead. Thunderbolts, it is so over. It is the most over for the Thunderbolts. It's just so over. 10 points behind Team Momo. Team Momo is so lucky that the Thunderbolts are in this league. Because Team Momo should be in dead last right now. But the Thunderbolts are finding new ways to fail, new ways to disappoint, new ways to inject absolute pain into their fans. 38 points through 8 events. 38 points through 9 events. Disgusting. Disgusting. Crazy Cat's Eyes have 2 16th place finishes, and they're in 3rd right now. It is going well for them. And then Bumblebees jumping up Speeders dropping down. All we need to do is have the speeders drop down more, and I'm fine with whoever. Bumblebees, Crazy Cat's Eyes, hell, put Raspberry Racers up there, I'm fine with it. But I'd really love if the Pinkies did it. I'd really love if the Pinkies jumped up. But it is not quite nitty-gritty time. But you can tell which teams got it and which teams don't. I'd say 11th through 1st got it. Shining Swarm, Team Galactic, and Team Plasma can save face at this point. But it is Momo over so hard for Team Momo. And the Thunderbolts might not as well be here. Thunderbolts shouldn't even be here. All right. We got bingo. Yeah, so here we go. This is a thumbnail. I wasn't sure whether to go Herculaneum. A little lesson in typefaces, right? We use font when we really mean typeface. The actual lettering is called typeface. And then the size of the letters is font. But it's kind of been getting used interchangeably, which can't really fault language for evolving like that. So this one we got Herculaneum, right? Herculaneum is the font they use for Avatar: The Last Airbender. And that's going off of the whole thing that they used, that JMR used for their thumbnail. Track, sand, water, Marson. Long ago, the 4 nations or whatever. And then I got the best font name ever, in my opinion. Burbank Big Condensed Black. All big and black mean is that the font is big. Burbank is the typeface, and then condenses mean that it's squished a bit. This is, I believe, the font that they used, that JMR used in the thumbnail, saying track, sand, water, right? If it looks familiar, this is the Fortnite font. This is the font that Fortnite uses for Fortnite, right? And then, of course, Marson, and then the bee statue looking absolutely zoned out. This is me. This is me in the commentating booth, trying to make sense of what's going on real time. Like, appears to be an incident. And then here we go at the bingo. Oh, I need the Marson pen. Marson. There we go. We got the over, chat. They hit it. Thank you, Bumblebees. Best host team. Best team to host. Host curse. Schmost curse. Bees are in it to win it. And I hope they do win it at this point. No team has won when they hosted, because no team's been good when they hosted. We are in it. We got 5 teams in contention. If this was event 15 going into event 16, there are 5 teams in it, and that's usually the average. That's why this square is so risky. But holy cow, this diagonal might hit. Thunderbolts, I'm begging you. It is a dark day when you need to have hope for the Thunderbolts to do anything, which is why this is such a daring square. I thought this would have been the shoe-in. This would have been the tough one. This one's looking like a shoe, and this one's a tough one. Worst to first, first to worst also hasn't happened. I don't think that's happened. Who? So is B's Thunderbolt? Yeah, that ain't happening. Ain't happening. Yeah, so we'll have to look for the Bumblebees and the Thunderbolts to do something. I'm begging you, Thunderbolts. If we could watch me hit 3 squares with one event. We could have Thunderbolts, Galactic, and Team Momo on the podium next event. That'll give us Thunderbolts gold, every team medaling, and worst to first. Imagine. I'm gonna have to be stuck imagining because this is relying solely on the Thunderbolts doing well. And that just ain't happening. Did Greg say penultimate? Has Greg not said penultimate yet? Greg! It's... Come on! You say that word so often. Still gotta wait for the showdown. No any sort of peep, no announcement, no banner change, no schedule, anything with regards to the showdown. Which is a shame because this is about to be the most watched video on Yella's channel is the showdown. Showdown is where miracles can happen. We're about to see the Cobalts win the showdown and then qualify finally and then win because it's overdue for the Cobalts. We've had other teams have their success. Savage Speeders have won 2 Marble Leagues before the Cobalts have even qualified for one. So, like, they're way past due. Really hope we get news on this showdown because I'm actually extremely excited for this showdown. No team has 69 points yet. 21 points can't happen. Team Plasma's 11 points. That could happen. That could happen with was that 4th? 4th place? 5th place, I think. 11 points. Team Plasma, you can do well and get 69 points at the same time. And, like, I call that a win-win. But it's really Gliding Glacier, Shining Swarm, Team Galactic, and Team Plasma with the potential to get 69 points next event. Which, who knows when it is? The banner updated to look like Wednesdays and Saturdays, which will... Loving it, right? I know some people called it a bad thing. They called it concerning when we got this schedule change. I don't know why we seem to be scrutinizing every decision. I like having a whole lot of marble content, but it's at the expense of breezing through this season. Then we finally get a break, right? Because so many events, so many things to keep track of. Now we're finally slowing our roll in the back half. We're going from 3 a week to 2 a week, getting to savor the back half of what is shaping up to be one of the best Marble Leagues on record. So many points records gonna be broken. So many medal records gonna be broken. Might have a host team win. Wanna savor this. And they're sitting there going, uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's like, what? Uh-oh. We are finally getting some breathers in a season that I have been holding my breath so much. That being said, the banner has been wrong before. It said no event on Halloween, and here we go with a Halloween event. Like, I wasn't expecting anything like that to happen. So the banner has been wrong for weeks without any confirmation that, oh yeah, this is the banner that's happening. It was only 15 minutes last Tuesday before the event. Oh, hey, there's an event. It's delayed, by the way. Wait, there's an event? Yeah. So here's hoping this is correct, because I'm scheduling my life around this. Also, I have no idea how time works, because 1900 Greenwich Mean Time, that's what the GMT stands for, because one institute in London is like, this is what our day sets the mark for the entire world's day. Greenwich Mean Time used to be 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard. That's my time zone. Now it is 11 a.m. Pacific Standard. So that seems to be the case. Now, I did a quick Google search. So it seems that the events for North America are going to happen an hour earlier now, because we got off of daylight savings time. We had to fall back. That's why everyone woke up so well rested on Sunday at 7 o'clock, because it was supposed to be 8 o'clock a.m. So now all these events, as far as this banner is concerned, I know a lot of people are, sticking to the schedule that was released ahead of the season. The one that said October 31st, and then 2 days later is October 2nd, right? So I'm keeping a close eye on that one. But I am also having faith now in this banner. It will not surprise me if this one is incorrect and no one in the JMA has checked with each other and confirmed that these times and dates are the correct times and dates. So, with me going through all of my minutes, I will see you all either tomorrow at 1 Pacific, tomorrow at noon Pacific, Wednesday at 1 Pacific, or Wednesday at noon Pacific. I'm hoping that this banner is correct with all the clock moving abouts that have happened, and that the dates are not going off of the schedule from last year, because that's what happened with last week's on Tuesday. Was not supposed to have an event scheduled because they were going off of last year's day structuring, and this is the exact same thing that happened last year, although they only had 2 a week and not 3 a week. But they did have different times, and they did a little break to put them on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So here's hoping that the banner is correct, and that all the eyes who needed to look at it and say, yes, this is the thing that is happening, have seen this and said, yes, this is what is happening. So I will see you all, knock on wood, Wednesday at noon Pacific. Wednesday at noon Pacific is when the next 11 Pacific is when it's happening, and we'll scream about it an hour after. So noon Pacific is when that'll happen. Here's hoping. If not, then I'll be posting so many updates. I'm like, hey, it's actually today, because they said, hey, it's actually today. All right. Got through all my minutes. Got through all the things I wanted to scream at. Got through this bingo. Greg says still has not said penultimate. Someone did spot Raldo. 424 is what they said. Might as well find Raldo real quick. Where is it? 454. 454. Because he's chilling with the life. Yeah, there's Raldo. There's Raldo. Putting in work. CPR certified. Raldo. Up top. There we go. So I will see you all. Seems to be Wednesday noon Pacific. So Wednesday noon Pacific is what we are rolling with, I suppose. I will see you whenever I see you. As always, Waluigi's gonna take us out. Have a good rest of your day, maybe a good rest of your day and tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.